it's me, Sean Capri, late at night. It's episode 131 of We the GamerCast. Publishes on iTunes and Google Play, usually every Monday. But it's Thursday when I'm recording this. Friday for you. Happy Friday. That's right. It's a bonus powered by Patreon episode. Thanks to everybody at Make Us Better. Patreon.com/Make Us Better. We've got returning guests. We are celebrating Black History Month here on We the GamerCast. We've got Joey Craig coming in just a second. But holy crap, big things happening on Make Us Better. I will talk about that in just a second. But first, I must, and I would love to thank our platinum executive producer, Mr. Corey Hicks, our gold executive producers, actually all of our gentlemen executive producers, some old habits there. Nick Milicia from Next Level Games, Joel Brooks, James Johnson, Dr. Doom, Jesse Armstrong, Glauco Shaffer, David Ray, Mike Drummie, Aaron Doherty, Martini Jean, and Mr. Moody himself. Thank you guys for supporting us this month of February. It was so great to have you. Obviously, we've announced some changes to the Patreon. Bobby is taking a bit of a sabbatical for the foreseeable future. And I put a post at patreon.com/makeusbetter. It's also in the Make Us Better group on Facebook, trying to get this out as much as possible, just to let everybody know what is going on. So if you didn't know, if you weren't part of those conversations, you didn't see, Bobby's taking a bit of a break. So the Gaming Gurus is taking a back seat. I don't even know how to say. I don't want to say it's gone forever, but we don't have a plan to bring it back on. So I guess hiatus is probably the best term. Bobby taking care of some things for himself and focusing on family, and we obviously support him on that. And with the Gaming Gurus gone, Toby let us know this morning that he would be stepping away from the Patreon as well. So it's Joseph and I. So you might be going, well, what the F, man? Like, there's just two of you guys doing that Patreon, you and Joseph. Like, we're here for the Nintendo Guru. Well, guys, I take this very seriously, and I truly do support. I am so grateful for all the support you guys give at patreon.com/makeusbetter. And I understand some people have already either rescinded or changed their support. I get it. But I want to let you know that I'm on it. And I want to let you know that this isn't something that I'm letting just crumble away. I take this as an opportunity to not only get us back to where we were in a way with Bobby, but we can take this to the next level. And you deserve that, and we are making it better, and we aren't just going to lay over and let it fade away. I've big moves, guys. I've been talking to some of you who are listening. I've already spoken to. So big moves happening in the future, but the biggest thing and the most immediate thing that I want to draw your attention to, and to try and to fill the gap, because obviously we're missing a Nintendo voice with the Make Us Better crew. Joseph and I like Nintendo. We've got two Switches in this house. We've got two Wii U's. I dare anybody of you who have two Wii U's in your house, let me know. Because I don't know what that has to do with the love for Nintendo. I'm just saying that I really like Nintendo. Anyways, we're missing a Nintendo voice. So I thought it might be exciting to revive If We Ran Nintendo. I will be the host of a brand new If We Ran Nintendo revived from the dead, resurrected, almost like Easter, whatever that means. And I wanted to take the best parts of If We Ran Nintendo, which really is the community. It's you guys, people listening. A lot of you are here because of If We Ran Nintendo. The Patreon happened really because of If We Ran Nintendo. The shout-outs, the 20 minutes, the 45 minutes until we finally got into the Todd Oxford timeout for topics. I feel like the community made that show what it is, and I think you feel that too. So I'm changing the format slightly to be a guest show, a lot like this, but I didn't want it to be exactly like this. One-on-one, I already do one-on-one, sir. So we'll do two guests, two people from the community, whether you have a podcast or not. If you're just passionate about Nintendo, I think we all have thoughts on how we could probably fix Nintendo. That is the new If We Ran Nintendo. The first episode will be recorded live because you make us better. We are still in that milestone. So thank you guys so much for that. That is one of the most exciting things that I've been a part of, is watching the Patreon reach that level and we went live. That is like, I can't tell you the energy that happens with that. So Sunday at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, youtube.com/WeTheNerdy is where it will live for now. I don't know about the future, but right now that's the channel that I have the ability to post and stream to, so that's where it will be. Justin Masson from Nintendo Dads and Jacob Rush from Nintendo Nostalgia. Are you kidding me? This is like the premiere of all premieres. You guys have to be there. I appreciate everybody's support in the Facebook group, and I hope you're excited about it. Hashtag get hyped. I'm pumped about it. And it's going to be a lot like this. If you want to be part of the show, just tweet at me, guys. So it's going to be great. I think already people are, we've got a bit of a lineup going. So I will be reaching out to many people, try and get the foreseeable future taken care of in terms of scheduling. But I'm pumped, and I hope this is just, I want to let you know this is just a small token of my commitment to you guys, and Joseph is right here with me. We're building this together, and we hope you guys are along for the ride with us. I promise you, we have really, really cool things happening in March and April and beyond. So stick with us. Don't cancel just yet. I know you're kind of hovering there. I get it. But trust me, if you guys stay with us, I have really, really cool things in the works that I can't wait to share with you. Hopefully we have a couple dominoes need to sort of tip over. Anyways, that's I'll leave it at that. I'll talk more about that on the next show. And please, you can just resubscribe to, if you're on Nintendo's, the previous RSS feed. So go ahead and do that on iTunes and Google Play, and be there on youtube.com/WeTheNerdy. That's that. A charity stream. I'm doing a charity stream on Saturday at youtube.com/WeTheNerdy. We're going to be playing Rocket League and Mario Kart and Splatoon, whatever the heck else you guys want to play. It is a community-based thing. Again, I want to make sure, like, this is it, guys. You help me do this stuff, and I want to just give back as much as freaking possible. Having Bobby not here is a big loss, but honestly, we have ideas. We will not let you down. I promise you that. So we're raising some money for cancer this weekend. We're going to be doing a charity stream from 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8 p.m. We're going to go 8 hours straight. Maybe order some pizza. Maybe eat some crappy food. Play some video games. Shout out to playsomevideogames.com. That's such a great name. Yeah, so I will be raising money for my Ride to Conquer Cancer. I will be giving away a Pro Controller. For the Nintendo Switch, a Splatoon Pro Controller. So we'll figure out something, some sort of like donate to enter or something like that. So stay tuned. And also, we'll do a live airing of this show, We the GamerCast. My second returning guest, we're going to do live during that stream. It will be Blessing Adeoye from OK Beast. I can't freaking believe it. So please be excited. There's this show coming at you on Friday. Saturday is a live stream. Sunday is live if we're at Nintendo. More to come. I hope to have more announcements next week. Joseph and I are so pumped. Thank you guys for sticking with us at Make Us Better. Make Us Better, hopefully getting bigger, guys. There is zero plan. If it's just me and Joseph, we may as well shut it down. Because that's not good enough for you guys. We have to, this has to be, I've already said too much. See, you're getting me talking, you guys. Why don't we go ahead and get into it? My guest this week is Joey Craig, the Skyward King. He's at Skyward King on Twitter. He was on episode 74. It's been a while since we've talked, so I thought we would catch up. This is a returning guest. It's all possible thanks to your support. Like I said, the milestone that we hit, returning guest number 1 is Joey Craig. Returning guest number 2, Blessing Adeoye. All happened in the same week, guys. This is amazing. It's Black History Month. It continues. Here he is, Joey Craig, the Skyward King.
Oh no, I'm using a blue snowball.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You sound way better than Bobby.
Yep, except he has the better one.
Oh hey.
What was that?
I was saying you sound way better than Bobby.
Oh, it's because I'm using this program called Voice Meter.
Tell me how you walk through that, because I've tried it twice, and I'm like, this is too complicated for me. Like, were you just kind of all over YouTube? Like, because I just have gone down the rabbit hole for, was it something like banana meter, something like that? I can't remember.
Oh no, I'm just using the standard one because Voice Meter Banana has way too many settings, and then I watched this video and this dude explained it really easy, and he actually even like he saved his audio settings so you could just upload them into the program, and so it'll just copy what his settings are. and that, yep. And so that was super easy for me.
So I'm clearly looking in like completely the wrong place. I've given this a legit shot twice, and I felt like the second time I was just doing the exact same thing over again, which really, like, it didn't work the first time. So that was real stupid. So maybe I'll have to see, just like, or maybe you could send me, I don't even know. You should send me that way, because you sound like just right out of the gate amazing. Yeah, man. Well,
thanks.
Part of
I'm
it
glad it sounds good.
Voice.
No, I could send you. Oh, thanks. No, I could send you. I could send you the settings. The settings file. Yeah.
The USB mic and everything. Because like I remember the first time I was starting to look at some of that stuff was to try and do some virtual cable stuff, and I wanted a soundboard on some show. I can't even remember what it was, and I think it allowed you to have like to play stuff through your desktop, but then it would pump through your Skype call and stuff like that. I don't even know if that's something you would be looking into, or if you're just looking at improving sound audio as you recorded it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking at. Just trying to improve the audio, because just the standard snowball, man, I don't know. It sounded like I described it before, like kind of like I was talking through a cone. Like it just didn't sound that great.
Maybe Bobby's listening. Maybe
yeah,
Bobby is. Hopefully he's out there, and at some point when he comes back to us, he'll hear this and go, yeah, maybe I should. Because he just flipped. He was recording on the wrong setting. I can say this now because he made fun of himself. He was recording on like he had like the wrong switch in the back for like 2 years or something crazy like that. And then he's like, oh, look at this, whatever it is, cardioid or something. The button where it actually records out of the front of it. He was recording like out of all angles out of it. So he was always sounding kind of echoey and stuff. So that was kind of dumb of him, Bobby.
No, I mean, you just kind of think like it's just you turn it on and it just sounds good. But mine doesn't have the buttons in the back. Mine is like the
That's
slightly
better,
cheaper
though,
version.
Because, Bobby got a little too fancy for himself. Apparently.
Well, hey,
dude,
I'm glad he figured it out now.
I'm glad your camera is working.
Like
I don't think your camera worked the last time we recorded. I don't recall seeing you the last time we recorded.
No, last time I just didn't have it hooked up.
And it didn't matter.
And so we were just like, we'll just go for
anyway,
it.
So it was like, whatever.
Yeah, I think it was just on the website. So now you do like you got the YouTube channel going and all that, huh?
The patrons wanted it, man. They pushed us to video. I don't even remember. I guess it would have been somewhere around episode 90 or something. I think it was maybe a couple months after you. But the reason I wanted to bring it up was the last time we talked, you were about to move. And I don't even know what date this was. It was episode like 75 you were on. So this is going a while back. You're on 131 right now. And I was going to ask you if, like, how did the move go? I feel like I need a life update from Joey Craig, man.
How'd it go? I mean, it was a smooth move. It was, it wasn't far. I actually moved somewhere like within the same apartment complex. But just like, we just moved our stuff. But we had our stuff like most of our stuff like in a storage. So yeah, everything was fine. Yeah,
I'm glad it actually happened. I feel, because like I think you had mentioned that you were in between places or something like that. And sometimes when people say that, then they're really just like temporarily, permanently in a place. So I'm just glad you kind of, because you were living with your mom and living with your sister at some point. Are they? So they're all still there? Like you guys are still in close proximity? How's that?
Yeah.
How's that?
Very close.
Very close. Yes.
No. Yeah. No. It's cool. I mean, it is what it is. It's a temporary situation. But actually about to move again. It's weird.
We should talk about year and a half, and then we'll just be like, hey man, how was the move? That will just be my opening question for you each and every time. Where are you going?
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Where am I moving? I don't know. I mean, I'm still looking, you know what I mean? But I mean, the current place is fine. It's
very lovely.
Looking for something. You can see all that from this just a slow.
Very lovely. The chair you're in is very lovely. The decor, it all looks very nice, very homey, man. I want to kind of just. You get a little pretty cozy up in there.
Hey,
What's
thank
the
you.
gaming setup
Thank
like?
you.
Is that it just on over your shoulder, or where do you game?
So that's pretty much it. That's for right now. Yeah. Just got the Xbox hooked up there. Yeah. I mean, I need to hook the PS3 up. I haven't played that in a long time. PS3 has to be like one of my favorite consoles ever.
From that thing, are you still picking up your? Because I still have PlayStation Plus, obviously with the PS4, and I still claim all the games. And every time the PS3 ones come up in my cart, I'm like, this is dumb. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna go back to that. Really,
it's a great console. I mean, I don't know. It's like there's nothing this generation that just makes it like I just need to be here. But I know there are other games like back, in the past generation that I could definitely just pop in and I know I'm gonna have fun. Starhawk, if I pop in Mass Effect 3, which I can play on the Xbox because of backwards compatibility, I can actually play that and throw in a multiplayer and be able to stream it. So that's cool.
Mixer.com/Skyward King. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the thanks for the plug.
Mixer, dude. I want to talk about that in a little bit, but let's keep on the PlayStation business, because I honestly it's amazing. Maybe I listened to too many podcasts, but I was just listening to Dave Moore say something very similar to what you just said, and the problem is I think people just maybe take you a little bit more seriously. You just have a little bit more authoritative way of saying it, but he was saying this generation he feels is actually one of the worst. That he doesn't really feel too strongly about this one, and that he looks backwards for the nostalgia and for the quality of games and just sort of like this collection of timeless, undeniable classics. He does, like, I don't know if you feel the same way about this generation. That are we going to look back on the PS4 and Xbox One and go, those were the days? And I feel like maybe he has a point. Like, I don't know, maybe if we're along these lines, you're going to have a counter argument to this. Maybe like, actually, this game totally breaks that rule. But what do you feel about PS3 that's been so great?
PS3. I think one that was just the last generation console that was just my home for gaming, period. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm sure a lot of nostalgia goes into why I love it so much.
It's almost 10 years. It's 2007 to 2013 when the PS4 came out. So something like that, I think. So like what point in your life are you now versus then, kind of because I feel like that plays into it a little bit, right?
Like
are you in?
Like, what do you mean?
Because I'm trying to remember your age. Like, I feel, because for me, PS3 is like university, college, which is like perfect because we would go to school, we come home and play some NHL and Gears of War and stuff like that. But like, I feel like you're maybe a little younger, so is PS3 like high school for you? I'm not sure.
No, when I first got my PS3, I was, 20. Yeah, I'm 27 right now, so yeah, it wasn't that long. Oh yeah, that is a long time ago.
Dude, doesn't that suck to realize in this moment? You're like, oh dang, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it really didn't feel like that long ago, but it is. Dang, time is just going. But yeah,
so you're in your 20s, kind of just like,
I don't know, it's
PS3. I see. Okay, because yeah, I would have been just so if you're 27 now, so I'm 6 years. So yeah, it's just a slightly different stage. So I don't know, but I think we're both in this generation that we're talking about in similar points in our lives to appreciate it one way or another. So like when you got your PS3, why did you buy a PS3 to begin with?
Because there were so many games that were having sequels from the PS2, and that was one of my favorite. And so I had to play God of War 3. I had to continue the next generation of Ratchet and Clank. It was a lot of sequels. Like, that was pretty much it. And it was like just going from what I was already playing. It's like I could expect quality, so I just knew that's where I was just going.
How early did you get in on it? Because a sucker was expensive.
I got in late. The bundle I got was $250, and it was $250, and it came with like,
oh yeah,
2 games. I think it was like Ratchet. It was like Ratchet and Clank All for One, and Little Big Planet 2. So yeah, I got a really good deal. Nice. It was a Black Friday deal.
Was this around the time that you'd have been podcasting too? Like you were kind of getting into it just for the first time? I know there's a bit of a gap between when we talked and then when you were back doing that. You were on, I can't remember what the show was called, but you were on like something on Nerdist, weren't you? Or somehow related to Nerdist?
No, it was yeah, it was the guy who's on Nerdist.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
What was his name? Malik. Yeah, Malik Forte. Yeah, he started hosting on Nerdist, but back then he had his own website, and so that was I don't know if it was that long ago, but yeah, it was definitely a while back. But yeah, I don't think I was podcasting back then. I think I was still trying to find my way to doing YouTube videos back then, but it would have been a couple years before I even started that, and I still haven't really got into it.
It's one of those things where like once you start doing it, it is hard to get out unless you're Bobby Pauls, whatever. We'll see you soon, Bobby. I'm just gonna be razzing him this whole time, and he's gonna hate me for it. Like, and I would probably hate me for it as well. But I want to talk about Bobby in a little bit. But why now that like the PlayStation 3? This is I'm gonna stick on this a little bit, Joey. I'm a little stuck on it because like it's just a little weird to me. Like what do you? Why the PlayStation 3 now? What's wrong with the Xbox, man?
We both know the game situation that the Xbox is dealing with. Look, I like Xbox. I love the interface. It's cool. It's just it doesn't.
Oh dang.
None of the exclusives really stand out to me. You know what I mean? No, I'm interested in that, and I'm definitely gonna get the Game Pass. I'm definitely gonna get the Game Pass when that comes around. But other than that, it's like I tried Gears, and that wasn't really my thing. I haven't gotten into Halo like that. I haven't even tried Halo, so I can't even say if that's gonna be. Yeah, and you know what? It's crazy. Like I had it, and
but you'll get it back with Game Pass. That's the cool thing. Like Halo 5, just throw the story out the window. I've said it before 1,000 times, but Halo 5 is a good time, dude. It's a lot of fun. I like it a lot. So, are you playing?
Yep.
Like, are you have like physical games laying around for your PS3 that you got, or is there some PlayStation Plus games you're like, oh, random ass game 13 came out for free on PlayStation 3. That's the one I've been wanting to do. Like, what's your backlog or plan of attack for PS3?
Oh man, there was a time when I was doing PlayStation 3 that I was just collecting as much as I could. So I'm just every time a deal was coming around, I'm just buying it and just wasting so much money. And now it's like, oh my god, I got a box full of PS3 games, and I got some digital ones too, but I've always been a physical guy, so I had to keep at that. But when I throw it back on, I'm probably just gonna throw in Starhawk, maybe play some Last of Us multiplayer, or what else? Like I said, what was it? Mass Effect 3. Or geez, there's just all these different options. That's what it is.
Is like each one of those games that'd be a month for me, easy. Like you just name like the rest of like up until E3 for me.
Yeah, and you know what? And the thing is like I'd sit there and I'd play the Xbox, right? And it's like it's cool, but it's like there's nothing. Just thinking about the fact that I don't know, it's like I'm playing it. It felt like I was playing it because it's newer, but it's like I'm thinking back, and it's like there's still all these games that they're still new to me. I haven't played them yet. You know what I mean? And the graphically, good. Like Xbox, PS4, PS4 and Xbox, they're better. Like they, of course, but there's not that big of a difference. It's not like, and I can go back and enjoy some PS2 games. I was thinking like, like instead of just focusing on, you know, PS4, Xbox One, whatever else, you know, I could be enjoying some PS1 games. I can be enjoying some classic SNES games that I never played. So, you know, it's just, I don't know. The current generation, it really kind of, I don't know, it seems real dull to me. Like they're just doing the same thing over again. And some games, like there's a few games that do something brand new, or just, you know, do, even if it's not brand new, but they do it really good to the point where, you know, you want to try it out. But most of it is just.
What are some of the better examples in your mind? Because I know the elephant in the room as soon as we pick up this phone call is Warframe. And it's been 60 episodes or so since we last talked. And I'm like, we're going to play some Warframe together. To be honest with you, I finally fired it up, and it is not the game I thought it was. And like, even the way you described it to me the first time, I'm like, that's not what I was picturing. Why did I avoid it this long? Like, I don't know. This is an awesome game, and I don't know if this is an attractive part of the new generation or the now generation of consoles, or if this is totally crappy. But like, it seems to me that some of these free-to-play games are like actually good. Like, is that what your take is on? Like, do you think that you want more things like Warframe and Skyforge, and I think another one is called like Paladins, which is sort of like an Overwatch kind of rip-off, but it's free-to-play kind of thing. What's your take on that? Because it seems like that may be something that's attracting you in the now generation.
I don't know. I mean, other than Warframe and maybe Blacklight Retribution, which I used to play, which that was another free to play game. That was it's kind of like a Call of Duty ish kind of game. So it's like the gameplay is so similar. Like I wouldn't, if I really wanted that, I'd just go play that game. There's no reason I'd go pay $60 for Call of Duty when it kind of has that modern Call of Duty kind of feel to it. It's sort of futuristic. I think it's been a while since I played. They don't have that on Xbox. Is on PC
so then? PS4.
It's on PS4, PS4 and PC.
Are you playing anything on PC these days? Or at all ever?
No, yeah. I don't have a gaming PC. I wish I did. I'd be playing all kind of. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I think it's. I love the fact that there's so many options on PC.
Dude, you'd be trouble on PC though, just with the whole buying games en masse on the PS3. Like if you feel like you had trouble, and I'm the same, dude. Like it literally got to the point where I would be looking at a game, I would be at EB Games, I'd be staring at a case, I'm like, I don't know where I'm gonna put this. And like that was the decision of whether or not I would be buying this game or not. I was like, I don't know where I'm gonna I mean, I guess I could replace all of this crap behind me that you can't see that I'm pointing at because I'm frozen on the stupid Skype camera because it's a piece of crap. But like, I guess this could be game display, and I guess that's the difference is during the PS3 and Xbox 360 era, I was buying every DVD, every Blu-ray, every game that I could possibly get my hands on because I felt like the display of it was like part of the experience. Like as much as I wanted to play the game, I liked having that on my shelf. And I don't know if people really like think like that anymore. My games are all tucked away in storage now. Like they're accessible. I've got them organized and everything. It looks great, but it's not like I don't have a DVD tower sitting next to my TV anymore. It breaks my heart that that's the case, but where are you keeping yours? Are your games accessible or do you still have them on display? Like I don't know, am I the only one who's made this change?
The majority of my PS3 games, they're in a box, and my Xbox games, which I only have a couple, they're stacked up, but they're not on display like that.
Does it make you sad?
It's
just an old way of doing things, I guess, right? It's like having the old records on display.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I think I still, at some point, I'm going to have them back up. You know what I mean? I'm not, I love physical copies. I want to buy, I'm the kind of person, I'll still buy CDs. You know what I mean? Yeah, CDs. I love the fact that I have a backup. You know what I mean? Especially because I've had problems with digital Like even I think on Xbox, something happened. There was like a glitch, and I had some games, and I think it was DLC. It was DLC and music. They like took away my license or something to them, and it was just like, hey, you don't have access to these because we don't know that you purchased them. The idea that could happen to me again with like full games, like that's crazy. I wouldn't want to build up a library to that, and that makes me think about like what happens if some years from now, like a glitch happens and Microsoft isn't around to fix it. You know what I mean? Then I'm stuck. I don't like full on digital. So I like, and plus I just like to look at them. It just really feels like you own it when you can see it and hold something.
Miss,
you know what I mean?
And there's a couple games. I think Nicalis is the developer who does this on Switch, like instruction booklets. Like I miss instruction booklets so bad. And part of the reason now, like with Lincoln around, I put a wax crayon in his hand for the first time just last weekend, and he was kind of like scribbling on a piece of paper, and he wasn't even holding it the right way. He was all sideways and like he is a dumb baby. But like the reason I bring that up is I basically like learned how to draw, and I would spend a lot of afternoons and summer days just pulling out an instruction booklet from Mech Warrior or a shitty Mega Man port to PC because we didn't have consoles in my house, and we would just draw what was on the instruction booklets. And it seems to me that like there was a time when the instruction book had like there was a digitized version of it on the game, like you could kind of flip through, and now you don't even get that. I'm like, what the heck, man? Sometimes I actually need to know how to play this game, and I need to know what the background is. I always love like those write-ups in that first paragraph. They would talk about like just nonsense, really. They're like, I guess we got to come up with some backstory for the instruction booklet, not the game itself, but the instruction booklet instead.
Yeah, you don't get any of that anymore now. It's just like maybe you open it and you see a couple. You might see a controller and then the little buttons you need to hit and some instructions, but none of that extra.
That's it.
Oh yeah, and none of it is in color either. It's like, geez, you couldn't even give us colored ink. Jeez.
It's just black and white, dude. I wanted to ask you about your dad. You said last time he got you into Dragon Ball, and I was wondering. I don't think it was out at the time, but or maybe I just wasn't aware of it. Are you guys watching Super? Does he watch Super? Like, are you watching? How's Dragon Ball in your life these days?
I watch Dragon Ball Super. I wish he could see it, but my dad actually passed.
Gosh, Joey,
so he can
sorry,
actually.
Man.
No, it's you to know it's okay, but no, that was yeah, he would have loved it. He would have loved it, but jeez, there's a lot of stuff. I'd just be like, man, he would have really enjoyed that. I wonder how he was a big Mass Effect fan. I wonder what he would have thought of
Andromeda.
Andromeda. Yeah,
did you
that would have been something. Yeah, we used to play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer.
Did he really?
He got hooked on that for a while. Yeah, it took a while. I was like, yeah, like we could get on there and we could play and we can, chain our abilities together, and and he was like, I don't know, because he was just a big single player guy. But once I finally got him on there, he was so hooked. Oh my God. I think he went full into it and started buying what is it? You could buy like you could put in some money so you could get like some random boxes of stuff, I think. And then
dude, I don't think I ever played the multiplayer.
And he would just be playing for hours. I like
that game. Did I? Oh.
You missed out. I think because it's what you get with that. You get a similar experience with Warframe. So I'd compare the two. Yep. It's a really fun game. What do you think your dad
would have thought of?
But try.
Do you think he would have hated it like everybody else?
No, I think he would have been the guy that would have enjoyed it for what it was. You know what I mean? That it really, because though it's not what we expected, just from what I played, I didn't even get to play the full game yet, which is a shame because it's dirt cheap now. There's no excuse.
It's on EA Access.
He would have enjoyed it. He would have sat there.
If you have EA Access, $5 a month, you get it for free, man.
You know what? I should just go ahead and do that and enjoy it. But you know what? There's so many games that I could get, because it's like I see them on Xbox Pass or EA Access, and it's like, but I want to own the physical one, so I hold off just so I can have that experience.
I was going to ask you because, like, you know, EA Access and Game Pass and these things sort of get you around maybe the fear of buying a digital product, and then the license kind of like glitching out on you a little bit. Like, I've basically avoided really buying digital movies. Like, I don't think I would buy a digital movie. I would rent something, could just watch it. But like movies, for some reason, I don't care about owning. And games, like I don't think I'm quite there yet. Although I have made the jump for movies, and I don't really care if I own stuff because of Netflix and all that other stuff. Maybe I'm just along the same path, and I should just like give in. You're like, okay, I guess we just.
Oh no, it's a slippery slope, but don't give in, man. Don't, just hold on as long as you can. We gotta have something sacred, man.
I'm gonna think something very special of mine, because there's a couple games I buy, like there's a special instance for me to buy physical, which is it's dirt cheap, but also it's a single player, like a long term like single player game. If it has any sort of like multiplayer aspect to it, like Call of Duty, for example, I would probably want digital, because if I see you or somebody else playing online and I just want to hop in, like I want to go like, well, the disc is all the way over there. So if there's multiplayer, I'll have it. I know, dude. Isn't that the worst?
Lazy.
Isn't that the worst? Thank you for calling me out on that, because everybody else is kind of like, yeah, you're right. That does suck. But it's laziness. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. I keep seeing people saying that. It's like, just, it's not that difficult. Like, we did this forever.
Yeah. But then we started turning on our consoles with wireless controllers, and it changed everything, man. We didn't have to get up to.
Oh, yeah. I'm lazy for that, too.
Oh, man. So, can we talk about Black Panther for a second? Did you see it?
Yeah, of course.
You saw it twice. Twice. Yeah,
I had to. Of course, now I got the movie pass. I couldn't see it only once.
This is something that we don't have. This movie pass I keep hearing about. I'm super jealous of it, man.
Oh, you missed out on the good times of movie pass. Now it's $7.95 a month. Well, it used to, like when I got it, it was $9.95 a month, right? Now it's $7.95 a month. But now they want you to pay for the entire year up front, like Prime style. You know what I mean? You can't just do the monthly. But I guess it's cool because you get like this streaming service. So you get the streaming service packaged in with that for whatever $7.95 a month for 12 months equals, so. But that kind of takes away that convenience for me, because it was like, I just want to be able to drop my $10 for that month. You know what I mean? If I had a couple movies I want to see that month, I want to just be able to pay that and not have to pay for an entire year, because I don't see movies.
But now you can see Black Panther in the theater for, you can still go another 4 times. You don't have to think twice about it. So what is it for you? Like, is this like a moment, this movie, or is it just another Marvel movie? Because like, it's hard for me. Like, I'm trying to think of like Wonder Woman last year was like this big thing, and like they'd have all women going to the movie and checking that out. And like I kind of get it, but now that I've watched Moana 17,000 times with Lincoln, I feel like Moana is actually a better Moana. Why am I saying that funny? I feel like that's actually a better Wonder Woman type of movie. It's like it's a better woman empowering movie in my mind than Wonder Woman was. It seemed like Wonder Woman was trying a little harder. But what for you? Like, what does Black Panther represent? Anything bigger than just the fact that it's another Marvel movie? What was your take on it, dude?
Yeah, I mean, it did mean something. You know what I mean? Seeing that it was, I don't know, that it was, of course, just the fact that it's a black hero, you know what I mean? And I know it's like, yeah, we had Falcon, and I know people love to bring up all the other characters that were.
Let me prove you that this is not a big deal by listing the 4 other people, all of them, the 4 other heroes that you have. Like, dude, you're kind of proving the point.
Yeah, but it's like, but there was always something about that character, or you know what? So many times when there was a black hero, it's like the black hero was the only black character. So that's one thing. And it's just the fact that you just had this movie that's, I don't know, it's just so, the fact that it just feels so authentic. And if you look at what they did, like the background, the research that they did, they really tried to make it really have a traditional, while even though it's, sci-fi and unrealistic, they tried to keep these traditional African aspects to it, and the accents, and of course, and it's just like some of those characters are people that not the characters, but the actors are people that I've seen my entire life. So
yeah, you've been following them a while.
Angela Bassett, what is it? Forrest Whitaker. All these people. It's just so cool.
Yeah,
just
seeing them all
all
together
that.
too, like you said. Typically it's just them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it was a really cool experience.
Does this movie happen now? Because I'm thinking about all the different Marvel movies that we had up until this point. There seems to be like a magical lining up of this is what Hollywood is thinking is important versus like the Marvel universe is well expanded now, and like was this the right time? I guess my question is was this really the only time that Black Panther could have happened? Like could we have seen this movie come out 4 years ago maybe, or is this a result of just a lot of stuff that's been going on over the last couple of years and a big push of this? Or was it more of a, well, it was just about time that the Black Panther get put into the MCU kind of thing? I don't know if that's a really clear question either. But
I think
things happen when they happen,
I hear what you're saying. It's like, yeah, that, and
yeah.
I mean, I think it's a mix of both. Yeah, like it was about time. I mean, like, think about it. It's been about 10 years. It's a good 10 years. Many characters have come. I think it was about time that we finally get a black hero on the same level of like an Iron Man or a Thor or something, you know what I mean? Because all the other ones were they were sidekicks, you know what I mean? Falcon, what's that dude's Tony Stark's sidekick?
Dude, War Machine. I don't even know his freaking name. I'm totally blanking on it. But yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Like the one, and like this is again, I'm totally admitting this is proving the point that there aren't enough. But I feel like the one example is like Blade. Blade is badass, dude, and he's the man. And like, but that was years ago, and even that was just again the one example. That doesn't say, well, I don't know what the big deal is. You got Blade. Like that doesn't really add up in my mind. And just the way that you kind of said that too, like, to have Black Panther on the same level as Iron Man, I don't even get a sense that that's fake or forced or anything like that. Like that this is a legitimate, like full on balls out movie that they believe in, and not a, I don't know, is it fair to say like not a favor? Not a handout. Like this is a full on blockbuster movie, dude. Like that's awesome. And what about Lion King? Because Lion King is this other like I feel like maybe there's what I'm hoping, I guess, is we're seeing this is now a couple weeks after it's been out, and it's been, or I guess just a week after. How many weeks has it been out? 2 weeks? Yeah, you've seen it twice now.
Black Panther?
So been out for a couple days.
That was that.
Yeah, man. That's
just
what I was
that
thinking.
last
like,
weekend,
just
last Thursday,
like
yeah,
crazy, and it's nuts. And I'm just kind of hoping that we just find that people actually want this, and it's more than just like it's everybody wants this. It's not like I said, it's not a favor or handout or anything. That this is legitimate, like interesting stuff that we want to see. Talk to me about maybe a little bit about Lion King. Like, what do you know about the Lion King cast and the movie that's coming out there? Oh,
I
dude, it's
know
like
absolutely nothing about that.
it's all black actors and actresses, and like it's again, I think it's going for that same level of authenticity instead of having like Jonathan Taylor Thomas voice a freaking like the whitest kid in from Home Improvement playing this African lion. I feel like Donnie Glover's in that movie at some point. Like maybe that's just
Yeah, but
you don't
I
see it
never
in
really saw
Whitewash?
it that way. It's like because they're lions. They're like
Okay, okay.
I don't see them as like okay they're African lions, but they're lions. I never really thought there should be a black voice behind that lion.
Well, because Scar was pretty sweet.
It's cool.
Scar was pretty sweet. Like with Alan Rickman, it's pretty good.
I didn't
think
know
it's Alan Rickman.
that was him.
I always mix up Alan Rickman with with the guy from Die Hard. I think he was about. Is that Alan Rickman? Holy crap, man! I'm such an idiot with these things sometimes.
You got me hyped for a second. I was like, "What is that him?" Oh man, but no, it was cool. Did they say that they were bringing back
Alan Rickman? I don't think so.
No. The guy who voiced
Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons is the guy
Mufasa?
from Die Hard. That was Scar. I'm such an idiot.
Irons.
He has.
Oh, Alfred.
He wasn't. No, that's Michael Caine.
No. A Batman, the most recent Alfred.
I think
Isn't that
that's
him?
Michael Caine. Maybe we should just talk about something else because we have no idea, dude. I know you were on the Delvin Cox experience, man. That was pretty sweet. I was like, oh, you beat me to it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, man. It was no, the only reason I was on there is because you suggested him to me, man. I appreciate that.
He's the dude, man. He is so awesome. And I was listening to that show and I was like, I love that maybe this is also a thing that maybe we just. I was saying to Edward just the last week, like my pledge out of all this, and this has been like such a cool little thing that we've been doing on We the GamerCast with celebrating Black History Month. I'm like, I don't want March to just be like a return to the white cast kind of thing. Like I would really like to just kind of like continue this on. Like we don't just do February and then it's back to your whitewash programming. But like I think Delvin had asked you a question. I don't know if you had more time to sort of like dwell on it in terms of like what does Black History Month kind of mean to you personally, and is this a time where you do any like type of reflection, or is it just another month to you, or I don't know, man. Like I think it depends from person to person, but like what is February to you every year?
Yeah, February is. I mean, it's kind of like what you said before. Is it's kind of like just another month because I never really just think about Black history on Black History Month. You know what I mean? Like, because it's my people's history. It's it's not something I just box into that time. Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much it. I never really
like present or future. Like, how do you feel about like, is this a time to reflect on what the state of things are now and going forward? Like, what's your take on like how are things? How are you doing in 2018 as a handsome Black man? Even though you say thank you, just like golly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm not. I don't know. I don't know how to take that. No, I'm joking. But
coming from the pinkest guy.
How am I? I
think
like in what way? Like there's so many ways I could.
Open question because you can take it anywhere. Like because I like everybody should follow you on Twitter at Skyward King, and every now and then I feel like there's a response that I would want even more from you, actually, which is kind of what I'm trying to get at, which is like there are certain things that happen in our world that they get a very strong but I think rational response from you in terms of violence that's happening or just, I don't know, the president and things like that. Like how do the big things that are happening in our world, how do they affect you, or do they in your sort of like everyday life? Does the macro come down to the micro in Joey Craig's world?
I don't know. Not as much as it used to. like it, like stuff like that's going on in the world. It used to really get to me, but now I don't know. I guess it's.
Is it because you were kind of like looking, like was there sort of like, was it just a sort of like a trigger response where maybe just because of previous experience, was there stuff that had happened before where you go, well, this is happening, so I'm pissed now, and now you just kind of like, maybe there's other distractions or things maybe better, or, like, I don't know, man. I know I'm probably asking a question you probably never even thought of before, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to get your take on how things are in 2018. Everybody kind of said 2017 was a real shitty year. Are things better now? Are things getting better?
I don't know. I mean, things are they feel about the same. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing was dramatically different. I know everyone kind of thought everything was going to go south in 2017, but I don't know. It's not that big of a difference point from the year before that or the year before that.
Jaded. I think after a while, it's just like, I guess I just don't care anymore, unfortunately. And like, it's sort of like it's a totally rational response, I think.
Yeah, it kind of is like that. Like I used to be really sensitive to things, and I think I just gotten so used to just being like, just letting things roll off my shoulder that I look at other people and I'm like, why are you getting so upset or offended about everything or this thing that's so small, like in the grand scale of things, So I can't even make myself do it anymore. There's certain things, like, even if they're not big, I'll still get my opinion on them, or I just feel like it's big enough to talk about, but I never really get. Do you think it's actually harder?
Maybe this is a better question. Like, do you think it's harder to have an opinion about anything without really being called out on it? Like, I feel like that's actually kind of like what gets beaten out of people is like, how dare you have a strong opinion about this thing that is like actually super important to me, which is actually, if it like, it's one of those things. I think I can't remember who said it, but if it matters to me or if it matters to you, then it matters. Like the fact that it's real and that you perceive whatever it is to be either a problem or an issue or something noteworthy, then it is real. It's this notion of perception is reality. And I think that there's this thing that happens that over time that people sort of like call people out for having a strong opinion on one way or another, and then you stop having the discourse about it. And I was talking about that at the start of last week's We the GamerCast, just a little bit about the notion of thoughts and prayers, and how I think that there's some impatience surrounding thoughts and prayers. People want some action around gun control and things like that. And, I just sort of liked a tweet that said, thoughts and prayers don't block bullets, which I still think that that's not really a controversial thing to say, but I think everybody's on the same page that we all want fewer kids dying in schools. So why did we stop at the trigger reaction to saying like, well, you don't say anything bad about thoughts and prayers, that's the end of the discussion, now we're not friends anymore? I think that that's sort of maybe a microcosm of what the entire conversation is like, where it starts and stops. And to me, it's way too quick, where you just don't even get to have a conversation about anything anymore. And maybe that's the part about Black History Month that I love the most, is that it prompts a conversation that otherwise wouldn't happen. Whatever that happens to be, whether it's looking all the way back or looking right now, what's in front of us right now, and then maybe setting aspirations for the future. That to me is like totally from the outside looking in, and just as somebody who's like trying to spark conversation through the guests this month, that's kind of what my takeaway is. And I think I mentioned it on a previous show. It's a takeaway that I've learned from like the gay pride parades as well, where you think, well, where's the straight pride parades? Well, that's silly. Like that's not really the point. You get a straight pride parade every single day. So anyways, yeah, man,
yeah, that kind of sounded like people. It's like, yeah, Black Lives Matter. Well, all lives matter.
That's not really the thing, and that's actually amazing.
That's not the point.
I don't really. Is that? I hate to think that movements like that quiet down. Like, is that? And I'm not really being in Canada. Wasn't really here at all. Like, we didn't really have the same violence happening here, so it wasn't really in. wasn't in the streets for us. You didn't see real marches happening. Is that still happening? Is that still a thing? Have we moved on to something else?
I mean, people have definitely kind of gotten back in place
sucks,
on it.
Man.
You know what
Doesn't
I mean?
it suck?
Instead of everyone's just, it does suck. I don't know. I mean, it seems like a lot was going on, and it has inspired a lot that's still going on now. It's just that fire definitely isn't there. But that happens for everything. It's it's kind of like, a natural disaster happens around that time. Everyone wants to help. Everyone's, and then a couple weeks go by and, things die down. But, the work still needs to be done. A lot of people are still rebuilding. They're going to be rebuilding for years, but it happens, so it's expected. And
I guess that's a pretty good comparison in terms of after the limelight, people are still struggling, and like God knows what's happening in Puerto Rico. Like I actually have no idea, but I know that rebuild is going to be a long time. But my hope is that once like disasters have a really great way of bringing in resources and money and attention, so that the rebuild can actually even happen. Like yes, they're going to be rebuilding for a long time, but hopefully that long time means that it's better than it not happening. And so I just don't know if that translates exactly over to societal issues where like once the headlines go away, the support and like the rebuild never really started. Like, or maybe it did, and maybe that's why we don't see as much of it anymore, or maybe we completely got jaded by that. We stopped. I don't know. I hesitate to say it. I don't think that we would. I think I think maybe things have slowed down, but I'm not sure. Like I'm not into it as much. But are people still being shot down in the streets for nothing? And I think that's maybe what I was talking about before with I know you've had very rational and justified reactions to here's what happens when a white kid slaps a cop in the face or runs away or like is disobedient versus here's what happens to a black man who's hands on his head in the middle of a street doing nothing wrong.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, the way things have happened, the way people are, the way things have kind of gone quiet. And to your question, is this stuff still happening? I mean, it's been happening forever. Honestly, this has been something that people, black people have been talking about forever. Like, yes, this is going on and pay attention to it. But it's like it didn't really take off until it was like social media. Is this
when somebody took a knee for the national anthem?
It's like,
is that kind of when things kind of took off?
No. No, I mean, the talk. I mean, about was it police brutality? No, that's been going on for a long time. It's
Colin Kaepernick. Kind of. He's like, enough is enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's when it went international, but here, I mean, it's been going on for years. It's been Trayvon Martin, you know what I mean? I mean, even though the police brutality and Trayvon Martin, they're not exactly the same, but it was just like, it was like there was just a whole bunch of big events happening one after another. It was that one, and then there was the Eric Garner, situation where he was just choked to death by some cops for. Yeah, man. Was he selling cigarettes? And they're just like, he just like, leave me alone. I'm just sitting here minding my own business. They just choke him to death. Nothing happens. And the guy just gets off. They had it on camera. Yep. I mean, I'm sure you saw it. I don't really explain it like it's just brand new. But yeah, that conversation has been going on forever. But yeah, there's definitely not as much attention on it.
And I don't want to just dwell in this like, holy crap, everything is awful. But like there must, I don't know if there's anything quite as frustrating in the world that other than seeing something that is so clearly awful happening and then like nobody doing anything about it. Like that's sort of the whole point of the thoughts and prayers and I think now that the headlines are all about about the school shootings and everything like that. And like we can all agree these are horrible things. And it's like, can we just do something? That'd be great. It'd be like, imagine if EA was still doing their loot boxes. Like, not to like totally marginalize everything, but to bring it back around to like, there's other instances where there's a large group and a large voice, people saying like, I don't like this, something should change, and it changes in a lot of different ways. And I think that's there's a lot of different. I think the comparison I'm seeing this week is two kids side by side. One of them's holding an assault rifle, the other's holding a Kinder Surprise, and they're like, one of these is banned in the U.S. and the other is a firearm. Like the Kinder Surprise is like a chocolate, okay? And you break it open, there's a toy inside. And you can kind of like, maybe there's a little, like a puzzle, you can put them together and stuff. And they banned them in the States, and we still have them in Canada, by the way. So we're opposite. We don't just buy assault rifles in Walmart, but you can buy Kinder Surprise in Walmart. And the reason they banned them in the States was because kids were choking on the toy inside. They would just eat. It looks like an egg and it's hollow and inside is this toy, and kids were choking on them. So the comparison is, well, yeah, kids were choking on them, so they banned them. So we discovered that this was bad and this was dangerous. We didn't like the outcome of what was happening, so we banned them. But then there's guns that are.
Yeah, but it's just that that conversation is so. It's more. There's more to it. Fair. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't really just. Okay, you take away that candy, and okay, the end result of that is you simply save lives, right? You simply save kids from choking. But you take away guns, and you got to think about, okay, well, what are you going to do when the criminals have the guns, but the people that need them to defend themselves don't? You know what I mean? It's not just like a black and white thing. It's just so simple, because there's other ways to get guns. You know what I mean? The people that are going to do illegal activities with guns are not just lining up to just go get them the right way. So you take away all those options for people to get them legally to defend, and the majority of the people that have them are the people that shouldn't have them anyway, and they'll do whatever they need to get them. So I mean, you got to think of it that way. I mean, there's something definitely should be done about, protecting people from terrible gun violence, but I don't think the way to do it is just to take them away from everyone. I mean, especially because I see a lot of people talk about it like, oh, what about Australia? In Australia, we took away guns and we haven't had a mass shooting in a long time. And Australia is an island. Like you don't have Mexico on the other side of it. You know what I mean? So
interesting,
you take away the legal. Yeah. Yeah, because if you take away the option to get it legally, you open up the opportunity for a lot of illegal gun sales, and they're gonna flow, man. And then a lot of people that aren't supposed to have them will still have them, but people won't be able to defend. So I don't know. It just seems like a really potentially bad situation. But something does need to be done. I wouldn't say that that's the way to go about it. Just get rid of them all.
Because you know what's cool about this? We can still be friends. Because I think major gun control is probably the direction. But we can still be friends. Like, isn't that amazing? Isn't that incredible?
Yeah,
like, look what just happened. Well, and
agree to disagree, man.
Like, I wouldn't suggest that I have the solution. Like, and I wouldn't suggest that what you just said is completely wrong. And I sort of just want to celebrate this for a second, because like this is sort of my whole point, man, is that people should be able to have a discussion, and also to be aware that what we're just talking about is like, we're just kind of just throwing things off the top of our head based on some knowledge that we have and experiences that we've had in the past, but really far from experts and far from telling the future. And we can sort of infer based on what we've seen in other places. But you're right, man. Like, it's impossible to take like a solution here, transport it over here, and go, that'll work. That like the exact same outcome will happen. And I mean, you don't even talk about the fact. I mean, the island thing is actually a really good point, because there are, especially when you talk about accessibility, you go over. I don't know how difficult, but I mean, people figure out how to get drugs over the border, so I'm sure they'd figure out how to get guns over the border. I'm sure it's way easier to get a gun in Mexico than than anywhere in either of our countries, actually. And like that alone is like that inserts a complexity into the issue that nobody really would consider, because you didn't get to that point. Because as soon as you said don't ban guns, people are like, well, you must hate kids. Well, that sucks.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy.
I bring up the Kinder Surprise next to the gun, not as the, well, like it's hyperbole. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily to say this saved kids from choking, because God knows there's a lot of other things to be sounding dirty a little bit, a lot of other things to choke on. But yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll kind of just like wrap it there, because I really appreciate just the discourse a little bit. I love the chat, and that's kind of what I was going for with the Joey Craig coming on the show. And I don't know, man. I just know that we can have a little chat about some stuff that's happening in our world, very serious.
Yeah.
But again, maybe we can prove to people that we can have these our views don't line up exactly, but we don't hate each other at the end.
Yeah, man. I mean, everyone. How do you get solutions if you can't really talk? You know,
Wouldn't
what I mean?
But maybe
you
we'll
can't.
just get nowhere but be positive about the whole thing. Like, instead of like getting nowhere and hating each other at the end, we'll just like joke around and play Warframe later. But
oh man, you know,
I don't even know where it came from, honestly.
dang.
Like, I didn't really expect to be going down there, but that's just the thing. Before we wrap up though, what is nerd frugality?
Oh,
How do I jump
nerd
from like
frugality? That is
to this Twitter handle that I've just discovered? This nerd frugality.
Yeah. What is it? No, it's basically just an account that I made. Just to I post gaming deals,
man.
You know, video game deals.
So are you doing like affiliate links and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them, you know what I mean? But, you know, some of them, it's just like, oh, okay, I see a good deal, and I'll post it. Of course, I try to get the affiliate link on them. Yeah, but, yeah, so I'm basically
I'm not trying to dox you or
I
anything.
find
I feel like people are pretty
good
clear
consoles.
when that's a thing.
Oh, no. Yeah, I
Yep.
put it on it's actually on the page. It says some links may contain affiliate codes or
I
whatever.
think that's the future, dude.
You know,
I think
so
that's amazing. That, like, to be able to share with your network, this is a sweet deal. You'd be dumb to pass it up. You can't afford not to buy this. I love that.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I just like, man, I wanna have a go at that and see, you know, if and it's so not as easy as I thought it was gonna be, because you have to search hard, you know, because there's just in some pages, because some sites don't just have like, okay, here are our deals. No, you actually have to try to use like the price drop filter, or use like a browser add-on to find, you know, and so it's really not that simple. And then because my I don't have that many followers on there, well, you have to find out, okay, when are most of your followers actually on to actually see them? You know what I mean? Like if I had 100,000 or something, then it's like, okay, well, no matter what time I throw some out, someone's going to see it. You know what I mean? But no. So I actually had to use like an add-on to see, okay, well, when are people most, you know, when are they on most? So they're, according to the add-on, it's like 9 a.m. to, no, is it 10 a.m. to, what is it? I think like 7 or something like that. So yeah, it's a lot more to it. Nice, but yeah, that's basically what I'm doing with that. Thank you. At first it was like, okay, well, are you going to do that? And then I was thinking about maybe I get back into blogging and start talking about games, and that would be where I post it. And that might still happen, but for right now, that's great, what it is.
I mean, at first I was like, I'm not even sure what I if I know what frugality means, but then yeah, it's frugal, like it's trying to be deal. So it could be a little bit more than just this thing. But I hope, are you still doing the blog? Are you still doing the Skyward King WordPress.skywardking? Which one is it? Skyward Revision. Oh, dang it! I did that last time too. Holy.
Hey, you were close. You were real close, man. I've been slacking a
You know
whole
what, though?
bunch,
Do it
but
when it's fun,
that's
man.
been a thing I really want to get
That's the
back
thing.
into.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's when it was. It was like, okay, it's fun, but now I'm putting too much pressure on myself. Like, okay, I want to keep putting out content because I'm starting to get followers on the blog, and I don't want it to just seem, and then so yeah, it started to get a little less fun. But now I'm starting to get that
You
writing
definitely have
bug
that
again.
in
So
you.
yeah,
Like, I definitely, I think that's our true connection. Is this like this need inside of us to just make stuff? Like, I don't know what that is. Somebody's got a better answer than I do about what exactly is inside of us that makes us want to like create things or have like what do we get out of it exactly? Like, I don't know, man.
I don't know, just that feeling that you get that satisfaction of looking at something that you created and it's like, wow, that went from an idea up here to actually being
man.
here.
I guess
You know what I mean?
is it. And it's also like maybe we just think about stuff too much. Where we just like get out of there, like, get out of here and onto that page, and maybe that's part of something therapeutic of just like getting the thoughts out of our head and onto a piece, make room for other stuff. God knows there's more things to occupy that space. Joey Craig, thank you so much for doing the show, man. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, and you've been staring at my goofy ass grin this entire time. I promise you, I've been way more animated than what you've seen.
Just give me the.
Yeah, just
you
like
just
right
give me
out
the
of
side
that,
eye the entire.
I've gotten pinker as it gets warmer. I'm like sealed off in this bedroom, and the computer just kind of like heats up the room. So you haven't seen the sweat as I'm talking about gun reform and getting a little like, what am I supposed to say next? Thank you so much for doing the show. Where can people find you on Twitter and everything else? Remind everybody all the handles you'd like to support you on, man.
Let's see. Twitter. Twitter at Skyward King. And if you want to check out Nerd Frugality, there's at Nerd Frugality on Twitter. And let's see, other places to check me out, to support me. Oh, hey, I got a podcast coming out.
Oh, I'm there. Oh my God, bury the lead, man. Holy crap, what is it?
Guess who the co-host
Devin
is?
Tyus.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah.
I said, okay, I said Devin Tyus right after. I thought I saw him doing something else with somebody as well. You and Devin Cox are doing a show?
Yeah, it's the Skyward Cast.
Wait, I'm so pumped about. I can't believe them. I gotta start asking this question at the start, dude. Yeah. What's happening here? Tell me.
Oh no!
Is it video games? Is it a video game?
I don't know. I've been one. No, it's not. Well, it's gonna have video games in it. Whenever there's video games worthy of talking about, we're going to be talking about them on there. Or if it's Black Panther or anything as far as political topics or anything, you know what I mean? I just wanted a space.
Oh, you guys are going to kill it, man.
Space.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's just an anything goes discussion space, and
I'm there.
You got to be there.
Skyward
You got to have you.
Oh, I am so pumped about this. You guys, okay, so a little preview. So have you guys recorded an episode?
We actually just recorded the first one today.
I love it. That's awesome. Okay, when can people expect for that to go? Like, will it go up pretty soon? Delvin knows how this all works, so I'm sure he's.
Yeah. No, I'm the one that's gonna have to edit it. So that's gonna. Yeah. So I don't know when that's gonna go up. It will go up soon. I'm not gonna do too much to it. Thank you.
That's your
Thank you very much, man.
But if writing is way too hard anyways, this is way easier. You just talk out of your ass and it's fun.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun.
Well, I was trying to see if it's coming out right now, then check it out. Everybody should check it out right now. But if it's not there, if you guys go see it and it's not there, pop it up in your iTunes. Check out the Joey's guest appearance on the Delvin Cox Experience, because that's where all the magic started, dude. And if this show that you are about to embark on is a result of Black History Month being celebrated here and on the Delvin Cox Experience, dude, That is what it's all about. I am so freaking pumped about that. I'm not even faking it. This is just the best thing. I'm glowing right now.
Hey, you connecting us, man. That's what got us. What got it started.
My cold Canadian heart, and it's not because I'm soulless. It's because it's freezing outside.
Cold Canadian heart.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna wrap it there, man. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. I can't wait to check that out.
All right, thanks.
For anybody who's watching the video at youtube.com, you may notice that like sometimes I'm holding something very strange in my hand. Sometimes it's a pen, sometimes it's a paper clip or elastic band I think I've had in my hand. This is this here, it's like a chapstick. It's really, my dog likes to eat them actually. And I think it's like a golf ball for her. It's like, what's on the inside? Oh, look at that. So just a little treat for people just on youtube.com/WeTheNerdy. I'm really pink today. Like I'm dehydrated. I drank a lot of water. Like body, you wouldn't be so dehydrated if you just, didn't have to take a pee every couple seconds. Just wanted to let you guys know how my body's working right now. Thank you to Joey. Thank you to you for sticking around for that chat if you made it this far. You're brave, man. Like, I think that was a good conversation. I think that we had a really good chat, and we started talking a little about PlayStation, and he's throwing stones at Xbox, and a lot of things to have a really solid conversation. Thank you to Joey, at Skyward King, at Nerd Frugality. Hope you guys you probably already do, but if not already, one of my favorite parts of the show is after it airs, seeing all the kind words of people saying they enjoyed the guest. Recently with Edward Varnell, last week at that Retro Code. Thank you guys for sending all the kind words to him. I know it just means a lot to people to be on the show, and it's like, oh, look at this. There's people who listen and they enjoyed it. It's always nice. So thank you guys for doing that for the guests. The music, of course, was a Zelda reference. Skyward King, another Zelda reference. The song was Timeless Journey. I found it on OC Remix. It was part of Mirror Image, a Link to the Past remix. It's a big 18-song album. You guys should definitely check that out. That was a medley that you got. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the show, give a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to YouTube and iTunes and Google Play. So thank you guys for all of that support. Of course, patreon.com/makeusbetter. Big things coming. Big stream coming on Saturday, charity stream live if we were at Nintendo on Sunday. Huge stuff coming in March. You can also find me on the Xbox Drive with Dave Moore at Dayspace. DAS. Wait, damn it, I can't even try that. What else is there to tell you guys? There's a show, there's a game in the show notes, so check that out. Free. The Long Dark is for you, whoever gets that first. Thank you to our artists, Gary Gray and Adam Leonard, our video designer, Antonio Guillen, and this is powered by the Dayspace Network. Otherwise, this is episode 31. Now it's time for Patrick Stewart at the drive-thru. Goodbye. We'll see you guys on Saturday and Sunday. Bye-bye. Bye.
Hello, I'm Patrick Stewart, star of TV's Star Trek: The Next Generation, and the host of the documentary series MGM, When the Lion Roars.
Okay, that's fine, sir. Can I take your order?
Yes, you can.
And what is your order, sir?
I'll have a quarter pounder with cheese and a side order of fries.
Would you like it?
And a fillet. Oh, fish.
Would you like a cold drink with that, sir?
Yes. Yes. For the sake of the future of all mankind, I will have a small Sprite.
Okay, sir, that's $5.20. Could you proceed to the first window?
The first window. The first portal to a new dimension. One greater, one more wondrous than our own.
No, just the first window of the drive-thru, please, sir.
Yes, then so it is that I proceed to this window of which you speak.
Thank you, sir.
Approaching warp speed.
What the f***? Mate, did you just drive into the back of me?
Yes, it is so.
Mate, are you some kind of f***ing comedian?
I am Patrick Stewart.
Mate, get out of the f***ing car.
And